Hi ladies, this is Carla. Welcome back to my channel. Last time I did a video, I showed you how to make this craft fair organizer out of the paper from this really fun paper pad from Park Lane called Go Girl. And I got this at Joann's, and it really is fun paper and has several motivational cut aparts in it that we used in the journal, and we'll also be using those and this paper pad, which is a double-sided paper pad, for our dividers today. Now, the notebook that we used measured 7 by 9 3/4, and as I said, I did use the double-sided paper, and you'll need to cut the paper 7 1/4 by 9 5/8. Now, since it is double-sided, I have my journal divided into 6 sections, and so when we cut the paper, we're only going to need 6 sheets because each side has a pattern on it. Now, the way I determined how wide I needed to make papers for my journal was I came to the inside. I came to this red margin line right here because that's where I want my paper to start. The way I'm going to attach these dividers is by making a hinge out of washi tape that's attached to the divider, which also gets taped down to this part. So I don't want my paper sticking way out over here. So I measured from the margin line over, and it's about anywhere from 6 3/8, 6 1/2. And I made my paper 7 1/4 because I knew that I was going to be using my Weird Memories Keeper tab maker to punch tabs on the side. Now, if you don't plan on punching any tab out, you might want to make yours only 7 inches across and then add your own tab to the top of it or wherever you would like to put it. So that's how I determined it. You might want to make yours not, that long across, or that wide rather. And then I cut the length at 9 5/8 because I didn't want it sticking out, on either end. So I just made it a little bit shorter so I wouldn't have to worry about that. Then, after I got it cut, I used my tab punch, and then I went and did the cut aparts. Now, the cut aparts I used for the back. So I'm going to turn this over, and I went to my Cricut and I cut out some little scallop mats to go on, or go under rather, the little cut aparts. And so I'm going to peel that off. I ran it through my Xyron so I could have it all sticky and ready to go. And we're going to try and center this up about like so. Then I'm going to take my art glitter glue and go over the back. I just love these cut aparts. Like I said, when you do a craft fair, you got to get up, girl. I mean, you get up and you get going, and it's fun, and you're motivated, the adrenaline starts going. So you go, girl. That's right. Put that on here, kind of center it up, and press that down. And then on this side, I did the same thing. I went into my Cricut. I cut some black mats. I had one sheet of gold glitter paper. I think it was from Crafter's Companion, actually, off of HSN. And I went into Cricut also and made the top to go on top of the mat. And in my Cricut, it has a lot of motivational sayings. So I printed off one of those to go on this mat, and I also printed off this section that will be in my organizer. So we're going to try to center this Stick it right down. I'm gonna use some glue and get this stuck on top of that. This was so much fun to make. It really was, because I know that I will use it, and I know it's helpful. It will help keep me organized and keep my things in one place. All right, after we have this, I have a Zinc Happy label maker. I've had it for a while. Also got this on HSN several years ago, but I use this to print out labels for my tabs, so I would know the sections that it would go for. And if you have any kind of label maker, you could do that, or you could just write them on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put these on, print it out. This one says inventory, and it matches the part on the front. Excuse me. I want to get that right up. I don't know if you can see that. Right up here by the edge. And they're a little bit larger. The smallest I could make on this machine was 1.5 inches. I really needed 1.25. Excuse me. But the way I made that work, I just stuck them together. And that way they matched up perfectly. Almost perfectly. There, and that works for that. Now the other thing we're going to need is 1/8 inch score tape. Now what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to put this on each side of my divider, because this was going to help hold on the washi tape, because sometimes washi tape isn't, you know, what I want to say, it isn't dependable maybe to hold something on. It's more decorative, I think, sometimes than, you know, purposeful, I guess. So we're going to put that on that side, burnish that top down, turn it over, put another little 1/8 inch strip on the side, right on the edge. Now the washi tape I'm using is 1 inch wide, and it really does need to be 1 inch wide if you can find it, because it's going to give you the extra room you're going to need for the hinge. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the backing with my little pokey tool here, which it's been kind of hard to get this. There we go. That came out pretty easy. Sometimes it's hard to get that off, but here we go. Then we're going to take about 1 inch wide washi, and I'm going to let it hang over the side, because what I want to do with this, I want it to just barely cover that 1/8 inch score tape, because I want at least 1/2 inch over here that I'm going to apply a 1/2 inch score tape to make the hinge. So I'm going to try to get this straight as I can started here, just so I have a 1/2 inch left at least. I can do a little better than that, go up a little more. Yeah, that looks good. Then I want to bring this down. It sticks to the bottom all the way down here. And there we're gonna snip that off with our scissors. We'll trim it up later. I'm gonna turn this over. Again, we're gonna take this backing off. Oh, it really did come off easy. Good, good, good. Then we're going to use our washi tape again. And what you want to do this time is concentrate more on lining it up and getting it even with what's already up here, because that's what's going to be showing. So I'm going to take this out and just kind of line it up with that on the edge. There we go. Now we can take our scissors and snip it off right there on the end. Snip this one. There. Now I'm going to burnish those together. And what we're going to do now, get our little book over here. Here we go. I almost put one in the wrong place. You know me, sometimes I do that. So we got it out, and that's where we're going to put this one. But anyway, what we're going to do here, we're going to flip this over. We're going to take our 1/2 inch score tape or double-sided tape, whatever you want to call it. We're going to go right up here again. You can see this. Be right up here. Go down this edge. All the way to the end. Tear that off. We'll come back and even that up. All right, let's burnish that. Okay, take our little pokey tool. Okay, that one didn't do it. That's what I was having trouble with on this washi tape. Kind of wants to pull apart. There we go. Okay. Take this out now. I don't need this anymore. We're going to come in here, turn this sideways. So this is how I made all the other 5, and this is how I inserted all the other 5. So we're going to put this one going this way. Get this right in there. There we go. Just smooth that down. When you turn that around, look at this. Isn't that cute? And even better, look at this. You've got a little hinge right there. Granted, this isn't real substantial on this one sheet, but you know, this is my own personal journal, and I think it's going to work just fine for me. So this is complete now. Let's take a look at it. All right, so here's all of our tabs. This one might have gotten in a little farther, but that's okay. So we open it and act like a lady, think like a boss. How cute is that? And this one says inventory. So we're going to open these, and that's where I keep track of everything that I'm going to be taking to the craft fair. As you can see, I will write things down, and the ones I'm going to take, I'll write how many I have and the price I'm going to have for it. That's what I do with the inventory section. And then we move on to ideas. Okay, I'll mash this down. You go, girl. And on ideas, that's where I write down, you know, different ideas I think I might like to make for the craft fair. You know, I like to look at Pinterest, watch YouTube videos, and figure out maybe something different that I can do for the craft fairs. And my next section, okay, on ideas, again, what I did was went to my Cricut, got these little motivational sayings, craft fair ideas. This says, if you believe, you can achieve. And we know that's true, don't we? we go to these craft fairs believing, and I've always had a good experience. So then we go to this page, follow your dreams, they know the way. This section is called my items packed. Now, I take my things in these big tubs, and I like to number my tubs, and then I like to put a number beside my items so I know what tub I put those in. That way, if I get to the fair and I don't unload everything and I run out of something, I know which tub to look back in. I also put the prices and how many I put in there, so I know, how many I've sold when I get back and check through that. My next section is events. Okay, on my events, I added a pocket to that because a lot of times when you schedule yourself for a craft fair, you have forms to fill out. So I put a little section here that says forms, and sometimes you have to apply for a license, so I can put that information in here to keep track of if I have done it. And yeah, that's just a good little pocket to have for your forms that you fill out for the craft fair. And like I said, if you have to get a license, you can do that too. So that's for that. And the next section I have is called essentials. Now, when you go to a craft fair, there are certain things you need to remember to take. And I've got a whole list here, and tables, tablecloths, my baker's racks, Christmas tree, chair to sit in, a money bag box. So I have to tell you about this. The first year I did it, I bought this money box. I used it rather 1 year. It's just too cumbersome. I just didn't like having to carry it around. So last year I was in this little boutique before my craft fair, and they had these cute little over-the-shoulder strap, just a little zipper pouch purse. And it was perfect to keep my money in. I had it on me all the time. I, could leave, I could walk around or whatever. So anyway, and paper bags, I always do paper bags. I try to decorate those a little bit. I have tissue paper. Always make sure I have scissors, some sticky dots, glue, or a tape runner. And make sure you've got some pens, ink pens. I use a square for my transactions, so I want to make sure it's charged, and I have the charger for the iPhone and the iPad. And I have a sign for charge cards that say I do take charge cards. Tape, you might need tape, paper clips. I make my price tags on my Cricut, and so I print those out and laminate those, and I'm always needing something to stick them on. Make sure I've got my price tags. A roller cart and a strap, water, snacks, baskets, and then, I put Christmas tree again because I've downsized. The first year I took this big Christmas tree, which was really nice, but my booth size just couldn't handle it. So anyway, the next and last section is called the review section. And this is where, I review how the craft fair went, like my best sellers, the things that maybe didn't sell so well. And even if customers come up and, kind of make requests for next year. Like I had a lady who said, I'm always looking for golf things. I have golf friends and they play golf, and there's never any golf things. So I thought, I could maybe come up with that. So it's just good to review, how you did at your craft show, and if you liked the location. There were a couple I had last year that I'm probably not going to do again, and everyone was nice, everyone went smoothly, but one, there was just no traffic there and was only for 4 hours, and I couldn't get into the building until the morning before, and I just had so much stuff to set up and take down, and it was just too much work for the amount of time I was actually there for me. Now, maybe for a really young person, that would be okay, but I probably won't do that one again. But anyway, that's the journal, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you try it and try this little way of putting your dividers in there with washi tape. I think it really worked out well. And so, girls, if we get to have craft fairs this year, it's just right around the corner. So I want you to hang in there, get started on your projects. Just think you got this, make it happen, and have all those good vibes going for you. Oh, and also, thank you so much for watching. And please like and please subscribe. And until next time, bye-bye.